Now, when you talk about your spouse and affirmations, you know, I've read a lot about affirmations just for your personal self and how it helps you to get through your day and to be successful in the things that you want to do in life. But what about applying affirmations to your relationship and affirming your husband? Mm-hmm. Is that something that you do? Do you make it a priority? Is it something that's important to him?
We had done a marriage retreat, and part of that required us to read 5 love languages. And so we did a group activity once we read it, and came back together to determine your spouse. And so they gave us opportunity to guess which one it would be. And
y'all were both wrong.
We were both off. Like, I think out of maybe 3, we had maybe 2 out of the 5, maybe 2 out of the 5 of each other. His biggest was affirmation, which is why I'm bringing it up. So that's major for him. And before that, I wasn't aware of it. I didn't pick up on maybe that's what he needed. Because a lot of our, we talked about in the beginning, and me coming here to Georgia, moving in, him taking over and cooking and getting a house, we don't really do that like that anymore. Some time has passed and some things have changed with that. And
but kids have grown up, and
before that, so even before the kids, we were not empty nested. His comment, I never understood it until then, that he was missing that. And so he felt unappreciated. So that's why it stopped. So I just thought, oh, well, you just, showed me the representative when I first moved. And, after a little bit of time, you just gave out. You went back to your true self. And so then that's when it really was like the light bulb moment. And he was like, no, this is what I was looking for, and I never got it. And so then the dialogue began about, oh, it wasn't that I didn't appreciate it. I would always say thank you, but it would be even like some of the smaller things, just something as simple as, I guess really just acknowledging it on a regular basis that, I know that you're working too, but you are closer to home. And you went through getting up because I wasn't here, couldn't do it, but start prepping crock pot meals and things because you knew we'd be at the football field for 3 hours tonight. That type of stuff. But being able to just say, babe, I appreciate, dinner and the effort that, I noticed that you did. Sometimes in the hustle and bustle, it's missed. It's not that I missed seeing that it was done or that I just didn't appreciate it, but the fact that
you were taking it for granted.
The fact that I did not speak it, I didn't acknowledge it directly to him, it made a big difference. So mine is gifts.
We love our
gifts. Mine, and so for him, he was offended initially when he, talked about the whole gift piece for me. And I had to break it down to, it's not necessarily that I want you to go out and spend a lot of money. It could be something as simple as a flower. It could be something as simple as helping me with something that I need to do or get done that you can do for me here in the house. Or, I'm rushing and I'm trying to get things done, but you notice that I don't have gas. And so I'm showering, getting ready for bed, for work the next morning, and you take my car and fill it up. Something as simple as that is major for me.
So you said you're a work in progress. So once you learned that his first one or his primary love language was affirmations, have you started to make more of an effort to do that?
I do. I try to make sure that I acknowledge it regularly. Things as simple as Facebook. He's very big on wanting to know that I celebrate him, the things that the effort that he's making and the things that he's doing. And so I've been trying to do Takeover Tuesdays. So,
I saw that a couple weeks ago.
So
That's so cute.
I'll go to his page and actually post just random pictures so he doesn't know, what I may put on there from week to week. And he likes that.
That's
So
really cute.
I'm like, okay, try to keep it exciting, try to come up with something else.
Cool. Okay. Is it because it's not your love language? Is it? And I struggle with this.
You have to think about it. Yes, I have to think. Okay, I need to do. I know I need to do something. I know I need to say something, and it's not always about the public. The whole publicizing everything or putting everything out there. A lot of times it is just with him, or if we're with friends and having conversations, and I'll say, oh, shout out to the hubby, he did, X, Y, and Z. He loves that. He thrives, in those instances. So I am definitely still working on improving in those areas as well.
Well, I don't think anybody's perfect. I think even if you looked at a couple that you thought were doing everything right, I think when you started to have a deeper conversation, you would learn that they both probably felt that there's other things that they can do better. I think if you recognize it and you work at it, that's all you can do. Yeah. So let's talk about romance and date nights and prioritization of those things, and where does that sit in you guys' relationship? Is it a big deal or not?
So now it's almost like a regular thing for us now. Now, when the kids were in the house and everybody was still, in school and active with sports and everything, it was hard because there may be 2 days out of the week that we didn't have something going on with them.
Okay.
And then a lot of times that 2 days would turn into maybe just one. It would be hard to really get it in. And then with them in the house, it would even be that much more difficult because they're here. So it's not like, okay, y'all stay upstairs. Don't come down here because we're doing date night. And of course that's when they'll find 50 different things to reasons to yell down, or I have a question, or I want this or that, or you're hearing noises upstairs. What are you doing? So it has changed now that it's just he and I. Because we could do that any day.
Any night.
And a lot of times we do, like, having an off day. Okay, so what we doing? And it's something as simple as going, grabbing food, coming, kind of sitting here like this, watching TV, have some wine, have some snacks, just kind of keeping it simple. It's not always big and elaborate where we're going to a, big, nice, expensive restaurant. But we do that too. We try to kind of mix in those experiences. But to say, we prioritize for it, it's almost like we don't really have to anymore. It just, if we're out and just decide, okay, or we're talking on Wednesday, and well, you know what, Saturday, I'm gonna make reservations for us or let's just do a movie Sunday morning. Then we just kind of wing it. Yeah.
So it's become easier now that the kids have left the house. You don't have to work at it so much. Right. It happens naturally. So when we're talking about romance, there's the other aspect, the intimacy aspect, and in sex in the marriage. Oftentimes, when someone has been married for a longer period of time, you often hear that sex begins to die down a little bit, and it becomes less of a priority. You're tired, or you're just old.
Right.
You just don't feel like doing it anymore.
It's a little different.
But what does sex play a huge role in your marriage?
It does. We, at this stage, it's like whatever works. There's we don't have to really plan it. There's no, okay, we're waiting for somebody to go to sleep, or waiting for somebody to go off to school, or, okay, let's hurry before they get home. Like, we don't have those things kind of limiting us. And so it is what it is. There's no, okay, tonight's the night. It's not planned, just roll with it.
I know for us, it's a situation where I'm probably the one who's, you know, a little bit more interested in it.
Okay.
But, you know, there will be times where we can go a couple of weeks before something happens for whatever reason. His travel, my schedule to the point where I'm working late or he's working really late.
And somebody sleep before the other person can even get to bed.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, you know, I find, you know, a little bit of time can pass sometimes before each little session, I'll call it. And so I have to make sure that I make an effort because I don't want too much time to pass.
Right.
While I would say that sex is not what's keeping our relationship fresh and new, it's definitely a part of what keeps it fresh and new. I think it's an important aspect of the relationship to kind of keep the fire going a little bit. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's important.
It's important.
Definitely is. That's you know, intimate, you know, for that reason, that connection is needed.
It's needed, yeah. It makes a difference, I think, especially on those times when there may have been a week or two that has passed.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let
me help you.
Let me call you. We'll have a conversation later.